Good morning, Year 1. Happy Tuesday. This is week 2 of the Little Red Hen, where we are going to be innovating our story. First, we have our do. Now, I need your help to edit my sentence. First, we need to read it all together. One day, she decided to make some bread, so she collected some grain. Using a writing checklist, you are going to spot the 3 mistakes. You have 1 minute to spot those 3 mistakes. Pause the video and spot those mistakes using a writing checklist. Did you spot those 3 mistakes? Fantastic. Let's find them together. First, using our writing checklist, we are looking for capital letters. Do we have a capital letter in our sentence? 1. Fantastic. 1 has a capital letter, but did you spot something? You did. 1 is not spelt correct. 1 is a tricky red word. Do you know how to spell 1? Okay, can you tell me the sounds? O, N, E is how you spell 1. That's a very tricky red word, but I've also got my capital letter for 1, so we can tick that off our list. Next, we are looking for full stops. Do we have a full stop in our sentence? No, we don't have a full stop in our sentence. Where should a full stop go? After some? No. After bread? No. After grain? Yes, after grain at the end of our sentence on the line. Fantastic. We've got full stops. Finger spaces? We have finger spaces. Have we written on the line? Yes, we have written on the line. But there is still one more mistake. I have got a spelling mistake. Have you spotted it? Well done. What word did I spell wrong? Some. I spelt some wrong. It sounds like but again, we've got a tricky red word that I need your help with. Looking here, I spelt some correctly here. So some is s, That's how we spell some. Fantastic. Okay, today we are going to be using interesting sentence openers, and we've done this before. You need to know what a sentence opener is. You can think of an interesting sentence starter, and you will be able to write one today in your build-up. Interesting sentences. So we can make a sentence interesting by using a sentence opener or a sentence starter. And you can start off your sentence with information to give more detail. They can either be about time, to the time of day, where, so where is it set, or the order of the events. So let's think of some examples. So for time of day, you could say it happened early one morning, in the afternoon, at midnight. For where, so think about the settings. It happened on a large farm, in the middle of the castle, at the back of the garden are some examples of where it could be set. And now the order of events, that's what we looked at in our last text. You could have first, meanwhile, after that, to help you order the event. But today we are focusing on using the time of the day. So our sentence starters will be about the time of the day that it happened. So let's have a look. Here we have 3 different sentence starters, but one of them isn't correct because we are only looking at the time of the day. Now 2 of these are time of the day, but 1 isn't. So can you spot which sentence starter isn't the time of the day? Let's have a read of them first. Early one morning, late one afternoon, down by the cliffs. Which one isn't a sentence starter about the time of the day? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to have a think. Okay, did you spot which sentence starter isn't the time of the day? Excellent, let's find it together. Early one morning. Is that the time of the day? Yes, it is. It happened early in the morning. It's telling us not in the afternoon, not in the evening. It happened in the morning, so that definitely is the time of the day. Late one afternoon. Yeah, that is telling us it happened in the afternoon, so that is the time of the day. Down by the cliffs. Is that the time of the day it happened? No, that is where it happened. That is the setting. It's telling us if you went down by the cliffs, that is where your story is happening. It's not telling us in the morning, down by the cliffs, in the afternoon, at midnight. It's telling us where it happened. So that one wasn't our time of the day sentence opener. Today in our build-up, we are going to be changing to innovating our sentence starter. So in our sentence starter, in our build-up, we have one day. That's a boring sentence starter, and I know we can think of ones that are even better. Here are some that I came up with. One sunny day, one bright, crisp morning. Early one Saturday morning on a beautiful summery day. So those are 4 that Miss Bainey came up with. Now, I would like you to come up with at least 3 sentence starters and making sure they are about the time of the day. So here is my vocabulary sheet. The first thing that we're going to do is our sentence starters. So I wrote that down and I drew a picture of a sun and one with a cross because we're not going to write one day. So now I get to write 3 of my own. I like one sunny day. I'm making sure I include a capital letter. I also like early one Friday morning, and I have to think of one more. I'm going to write on a beautiful summery day. So I've written my 3 sentence starters. So you are going to write 3 down on a piece of paper, and this is going to help with our writing later. You don't have to copy any of mine. I know you've got even better ideas. So you are going to now pause the video and you have 3 minutes to write 3 sentence starters about the time of the day. Off you go. Fantastic. Can you tell me one of your sentence starters? Fantastic. And you remembered to write it about the time of the day. Well done. Now we're also innovating the adjective for our bread. In our build-up, we know that she wants to make bread, but we're going to make it sound even more interesting. What kind of bread does she want to make? Here are some adjectives that I came up with. Tasty bread, delicious bread, scrumptious bread, yummy bread. So here are some adjectives I came up with. I would like you to come up with 3 adjectives to describe your bread, making sure you write the adjective, and then you're also copying the spelling of bread because this will help with our writing later. So after my sentence starters, the second thing we are going to do is adjectives for bread. I copied down the spelling of bread and I drew a little picture of a loaf. Now I'm going to come up with some adjectives. I would like the adjective scrumptious, delicious, I also like yummy, and I think I'm going to write one more, tasty. So that's what I want you to do. Write bread in the middle, and then you can write your adjectives around it underneath your sentence starters. So you are going to pause the video and come up with 3 adjectives for your bread. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, so come back in 2 minutes. Off you go. Fantastic. You came up with 3 adjectives. Can you tell me one of your adjectives? Fantastic. That makes your bread sound so delicious. Great job. Now we need to innovate our grain. So we're going to think of some adjectives to describe our grain. So let's think of some words to describe our grain. Here I have came up with 3. I have written golden, tall, gigantic. So you can either use some adjectives to describe the colour, maybe how tall it is. It's up to you, but here's a picture of grain if you've never seen it before. So you are going to write 3 adjectives to describe your grain. Don't forget to copy the spelling of grain, which will really help with your writing later. So underneath my bread, we're now doing adjectives for our grain. I have copied the spelling of grain. Now I get to come up with some adjectives. So I like the adjective golden. I think mine could be tall. And maybe the top bit's quite thick. And those are my adjectives. So now I have everything ready for later for my writing. You have 2 minutes to write 3 adjectives. Pause the video and off you go. Did you write down 3? Fantastic. Can you tell me one of your adjectives to describe your grain? Amazing. So today we're writing our build-up, and in our build-up, our main character, the little red hen, decides she wants to make something really tasty, and she makes some bread, and she also has to collect grain to make that bread. So let's go through our actions and our words for our build-up. Ready? We go capital letter. Off we go. One day she decided to make some bread. So she collected some grain. Full stop. Well done, remember your full stop at the end. So today we are changing our sentence starter. We don't have one day anymore. We've got something even better. We are adding our adjective for our bread, and we're having an adjective for our grain. Miss Bailey is going to have a go now at writing her build-up. Here I have the story map to help me, which helps me to write the order of the sentence. It also helps me spell some words. Here I have decided and collected, which I can copy when I need to. And I know that I am not writing our sentence starter one day. I am changing it. And I've got my list of vocabulary to help me. I've written my date at the top, Tuesday the 2nd of February 2021. Now it's really important that I have my list of vocabulary that I'm going to use today to make sure. First you have your sentence starters. Here I have 3 options: one sunny day, early one Friday morning, on a beautiful summery day. Next I have my adjectives for my bread: scrumptious, delicious, yummy, tasty. And 3, I have my adjectives for my grain: golden, thick and tall. So I will be using them to write my build up today. So first I need to pick a interesting sentence starter. So rather than one day, I'm going to pick something else. I would like to pick instead early one Friday morning. So starting with a capital letter. Early. Notice how much taller my capital letter is. Early one. Making sure we're spelling our tricky red word one correctly. Early one Friday. Friday is going to have a capital letter because it's a day of the week. Early one Friday morning. Or shut the door. Early one Friday morning, she decided. Now decide is quite a tricky word, but luckily it's on our story map. So I'm going to look back to my story map and I'm going to copy my spelling of decided. So making sure you use your story map as well to help with your spelling. Early one Friday morning, she decided to make, this got a split diagram, our chatty friend A, make a cake, to make some, she wants to make some bread, but we need an adjective. So first I have used my sentence starter. Next, let's pick an adjective. I would like to pick delicious, so I'm going to write delicious. To make some delicious bread, and I have written bread here so I can copy it on my sheet as well from earlier. Bread. To make some delicious bread. So she collected. Collected is also another tricky word. So I'm looking back to my story map to copy my spelling of collected. And because it's past tense, we're going to add ed. So she collected some grain, but what kind of grain is she going to collect? I've got tall, golden, thick. I like the adjective golden, so I'm going to pick golden, and here I have my spelling of grain from earlier. Golden grain. What do I need at the end of my sentence? Fantastic, I need a full stop. Now I'm going to look to my writing checklist to help me look through my sentence. First, I'm going to read it to make sure it makes sense. Early one Friday morning, she decided to make some delicious bread, so she collected some golden grain. Have we got a capital letter? Yes, I have a capital letter at the start. Full stop? Yes, I have a full stop at the end. Finger spaces? Yep, I've got finger spaces. I have written on the line. I've taken a lot of pride of my handwriting today. I have got my sentence starter, early one Friday morning. Next, I have got my adjective, delicious, for my bread. And lastly, I have got my adjective, golden, for my grain. So making sure you have sentence starter and adjectives for your bread and your grain. So now it's your go to write your build-up. Remembering we are changing our sentence starter, and you are adding an adjective for your bread and adding an adjective for your grain. Use your story map to help you write the sentence, and then use your writing checklist to check you have included capital letters, full stops, finger spaces, and you have written on the line. You can always go back and you can watch my sentence to help you if you need. But I'm going to ask you to pause the video and you have 10 minutes to write your build up. Then come back ready for our challenge. Did you write your build up? Fantastic. So that means you're ready for our challenge. Our challenge is that you are going to practice 3 spellings today: make, some, and she. So I want you to practice writing these down until you know them off by heart. And if you want a super duper challenge, put them into a sentence. So you are going to pause the video and copy these spellings. I can't wait to see your work on Seesaw later. Good luck.